Alright, hi folks. So today we'll be continuing on the collage builder that we were building using Go yesterday, and today we'll try to wrap up the image download part, which we were running into issues yesterday. So let's get back to that. So do we have the right project open? Seems like that. Yeah, we have the main.co here. Okay, so yesterday where we left off, I think we left off here, where we decided that rather than sort of figuring out how to resize the slice, we'll just check if the image is present or not, and that's pretty much it. So now let's sort of go back. So download image is being called by download images here, right? And this is where we would like to check, like I think I've already added a check here, so that like in case the length of the image is 0, just don't call this, just return from here. And otherwise, if it's not empty, just do a run download images in a go routine, so that's fine. Now in the go routine we get an image, we get a weight group. We call weight group done once this download image function is done. We get the JPEG part from the image, right? So and then using that regex we run that against the image, which is fine. So we'll get the image part of it, not the whole image stack. I think that's good. Then after that, what we do is we split the image on slashes, so we get back is a bunch of strings, I guess. What does split give us? Array of strings, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think like file name wouldn't work here because now we have s, and we basically want to access the last item of s, right? So that would be s and then len of s minus 1. I think that should be it, and this would be the file name, right? So let's store it as file name, and maybe also do a, on this do a strings dot to lower, and I think that should be it. So this is our file name. We take the file name here. Here we are downloading the image, and here we are using the file name to store it locally. So let's see if this works. Let me split it so that we can have vim on one side. Okay, so let's run main go and have main go open here. Okay, so I get the capacity and the values there, but I'm not sure if I'm really calling the image download part anywhere for that matter, because I don't see it downloading the image. It calls done, I think. Let's keep the done. Let's get rid of this log message and let's go to download images. So we have this here. Then we have a go routine to download image. All right, and we do all of this right here. We download the image and all. So let me add a log message here. So I'll say like log dot print line downloading, or let's do printf, and we'll say downloading the file percent %s, and this would be file name. This will also help us validate whether the file name is correct or not, and let's run it. Okay, this doesn't come to this bit at all, so either it's a issue with coroutines or it's something else. Oh, okay, maybe it's just this that sort of. Oh, okay, let's see, does it get even here? Let's just log the image and see. Okay, I think it's like because we are returning, right? Like this was the empty and we are returning, so it breaks the for loop. What if I do a break here? I don't think break would do much, but yeah, let's see. So that's an empty image. And why are we getting this 102 as well? Where does that come from? FMT. Oh, let's search for len. Yeah, this we can get rid of. Okay, it does seem to be doing something, right? Like it's blocked for a second. So if we go to collage, yeah, I don't see any images here. So what can it be? So it's not break either. Let's not do this right now. Let's just let the coroutine run regardless of the image size, and it will, I think, like, it will just panic because the image size is empty, so it won't be able to do a get. Oh nice, it's downloading some of the images, but some of them are failing, or maybe like I think like it's the same images. No, apparently a lot of images are here. Let's see. Yeah, we were able to get some of the images here, right? I'm not sure how many of these are here. So let's see, like ls star dot jpeg and then do wc dash l. Yeah, 101 images. So that's all of them, right? Yeah, pretty nice. So that was actually really fast as well. So let's first of all delete all these. I think we should make a directory where we can store them rather than directly in the project. Let me not do this here. Let's go on the left side. Let's make this actually a slightly bigger. So does strings package have empty? No, it doesn't seem like that. Nope. Okay, that's fine. How about we do this? Like if the length of image is greater than 0, then just call the go routine and that's it, because we don't want to do anything else. So that should also be fine. Yeah, let's do it, run it once, and then I'll sort of figure out the directory part where we have a specific directory to download images. Yeah, so this is all sort of happening in parallel, and is it still downloading or is it like stuck? I can't really tell. I think it's downloading in parallel, so that's why it's taking a while. Maybe that's the case. Although like it's too much. So okay, I think Go is stuck now for some reason. Are we closing all the wait groups? Okay, I see. I think the problem here is that one of the wait group isn't closed because we do a wait group here and we keep adding to it, right? So basically we the number of avatars that we have is, I think, like 102, and the JPEG images are 101. So that might be the problem, or not even that. I think avatar itself has too many images, right? So maybe we just move this wait group within this area, right? So it's only adding wait group for the correct images rather than every image or every item that is there in the avatar slice, because currently avatar are like 200 items, and that wouldn't work. Yeah, you see, like it's immediately done. So now my only concern here is okay, I think like even if it's a PNG file, it's fine, because here the regex doesn't match, right? So it will sort of skip through all of this. It should have thrown an error, is something what I was expecting, but yeah, okay, we'll come to that in a bit if we run into any issues. Right now it's doing everything happily, so I have no complaints. So next thing I want to do is create a directory before we download an image, right? So I can't really do like we are doing here this /file name, but then if I want to do say avatars, right, like this wouldn't work because the directory wouldn't exist, and I don't think it will create that automatically. So let's open go by example. I want to see what is the best way to manage paths and then also directories as well. So what we want is file paths and directories. Oh, this is all close to each other. So okay, we can do like directory join. This gives us a file path. Is there a file path dot relative, right? So this okay, so but this is base, which I think is the current path, but what is p here? No. Okay, so we can probably just do file path dot join, and that should be it. And to create a directory, do we do os dot make dir? Is there no higher level sort of primitive to create that? Like there's a make dir all, okay, os dot, but I think we can just do make dir. Yeah, I think that is all we need to do. So let's create a function called downloads directory, right? So all it has to do is I think before it runs it clears a directory in case it exists, and then delete and creates a new one. So deletes the existing one and creates a new one, so that like we have a fresh set of images. So but let's start by creating one. So I'll do a make dir. We will do, let's also do, or we can I think like directly do, we'll call it avatars. And what's the second parameter? I think like we did 664, so let's do the same here. Now what is, okay, it can't be single quotes, so that's one thing. And then this returns back an error, right? So let's check for errors. So error, so if error is not equal to nil, we'll just do a log dot fatal ln failed to create the avatars directory. Yep, that should be it. But now we need to create a logic where we can check for if the image exists or not, right? Like if the directory exists or not. So I think there is something here. Visit is called for every file or directory recursively. Okay, lets you change. Okay, we don't want to do this. How we check? There's no fs like file system package here. Is it under file path? Can we check like if this directory exists? Okay. OS start is there. Okay, so we can use OS start, give it a path, and okay. So if error is nil, then we basically say like the directory exists. So we'll do an os dot start, right? We give it a path. Path would be avatars, and then does it need any other parameter? No. So if we don't really need the return value, we just need to check like if there's an error. So if error is equal to, what was it, os dot exist non okay, so if os dot is not exist, so basically like if the file doesn't exist and that is the error, in that case, okay, yeah, I don't want to nest it there. So if we'll say we can probably do like if exists, is exist, I think. Is exist returns a boolean indicating whether the error is known and reporting the file directory is already exists. Okay, I'm a bit confused, but let's see. Would this work with an error is my concern. So this takes in an error, returns underlying error is exist returns a boolean indicating whether the error is known to report the file or directory already exists. But yeah, I don't think like this is valid for this scenario. Like os stat wouldn't return that. I think that might happen like in case I create a directory which already exists. Yeah, returns a file info describing the file, the named file. If there is an error, it will be of type path error. Okay, path error is under what package? We don't know. Okay. So this gives us back file info and an error, right? So if how about if we do like if error is not equal to nil, just return, right? And in case there's an error, just create this directory, right? That's all. The problem with this thing is though is that like it doesn't sort of, even if it's any kind of error, it assumes that the directory doesn't exist. But I think like it's fine for now. I feel like we wouldn't run into any other sort of errors, maybe permissions, but that can be fixed. So going over here, I think we should do it somewhere here before download images. We can call it download directory. That should be it. It doesn't need any parameters. It will just sort of create the directory, and then in the download part, I think we just need to do file path. We can say is or let's just call it path, because file path is a package, so there might be conflicts there. So this would be file path dot join, and we'll say dot, and then what's the directory? Avatars, and then the file name, something along these lines. And does it return back path only or something else as well? Yeah, just a string. So we can get rid of all of this and just use path here. So now if I run this, let's check out our current directories right first. So this is good. If I run this now, okay, now it's failing. Failed to write the image to disk. Okay, yeah, I've called it avatar here, so avatar here is wrong. It should be avatars, but let's see if it created that directory. Yeah, avatar. Okay, why did it do that as well? And it doesn't look like a directory. If I cat it, yeah, it's just a binary, so that's not correct. Why did it not create the directory is the concern. Let me first fix this so that this is something we don't need to worry about. And then if we go to download directory, here we are saying that okay, let's also log the value here, what this f is. I don't know, so let's check. Yeah, I got a nil here, so that means okay. Yeah, it shouldn't be error is not nil, but rather like if error is nil then return, right? So I was doing it the other way. Let's check now. So we have a avatar and avatars. Let's get rid of both of these, right? And then run go main.go. Okay, now we are getting a different error, failed to write to disk, permission denied. Okay, yeah, I was hoping that this wouldn't come up, but yeah, we do have this directory. I can't even okay, I can't even do a cd into it. So let's do 766. Like, nobody's going to access this, so it should be fine. Where is 644? So let's try now. Let me delete this. So let's run this again. Hopefully this time there should be sufficient permissions to do what is required. Okay, so this failed to write image to disk. Open avatar is a directory. Okay, so this is something we'll have to check. We have all the images here, right? So that is good, but let's check this error. So this is failed to write image to disk, right? So where is that failed? Yeah, this error, right? So let's also log the path here so that we can sort of debug it. Now if I run this again, right, like my expectation is that it should delete the directory and create it again, or rather no, we haven't even addressed that case yet. So yeah, I think we can probably do it here then if there is no error, right? So you could probably just os.rm. Is there rm dir? No. This is directories, right? So there must be something to delete them as well. Walk is there. Create empty file, that is not what we need. Remove all is there, so maybe the remove API is what we need. So let's try os dot remove. Removes the named file or empty directory. Okay, so to this we pass avatars. So in this case, if it exists, it deletes that, then creates okay, yeah, now it's confusing, right? Like, yeah, okay, yeah, we don't need to do a return now. Okay, that's fine, we can give it a try. So if I run this, okay, immediately I get like stats.co, no such directory. Okay, so okay, I'm running it in the wrong directory. Okay, how about now? So if I go to collage, too slow, but yeah, it did fail. Avatar is here. Okay, did it delete it even? So it says like failed to create the avatars directory, exists status 1. So we want download to run first, right? Like sorry, create the directory first. So if error is nil, because right here f would have a value, and we can say okay. So if we go ahead and run this again, yeah, it does fail again. It says removing directory. We get this avatars directory as well, but then it fails to create it. Is what the problem is. I don't know why. Okay, let's see. Did it even delete the directory? No, it didn't. So yeah, obviously it will fail to create the directory if it doesn't remove it, right? So that is the problem here. What does remove all do? Does it sort of do it recursively? Remove all removes path and any children it contains. It removes everything it can, but returns the first error it encounters. Okay, so we also, yeah, let's do this. Okay, let's try this out. Still have an avatars directory. Now we get a message. Now it's downloading more files. Avatars, right? Okay, it's already done. Okay, this is good. Now the other thing that I wanted to address was what if I don't have a avatars directory here at all? What does it do? Right, and then I run main.go. So in this scenario, I think like it will directly jump to make directory. Yeah, we still need to debug this one. Why didn't it log the path is my concern. How about we log the image in this case? Maybe it's just a blank thing. Okay, here's the thing. Yeah, it's the png file. You see here, png. Okay, we can build right out. That's good actually. But before I get to that, I want to fix this, right? So this doesn't look like idiomatic Go code, right? Like, because when we are not handling the error here, because remove all will have error, and if I handle it here then it would be nested. So I think what if I don't check for stats? What if I just do remove all, get an error from this, right? And then handle that error. If error is not so regardless the case, we want to create a directory. Let's see, yeah, let's see what the error is. So if error not equal to nil, log dot fatal ln, and then we just print out the error. That's it. All right. So currently we have a directory, so that's fine. I think this time it shouldn't throw any errors. It should just delete it, and yeah. Okay, now let me delete the directory manually and run it then. Did it throw errors? Okay, apparently it doesn't. So okay, let's see, when does it throw errors? Remove all removes the path and any children it contains. It removes everything it can, but returns the first error it encounters. If the part doesn't exist, remove all returns nil, no error. Oh nice, yeah, this is what we wanted all along. So this makes our code a lot more simpler, and we have some error checking as well, so we can say make it a bit more explicit. Failed to delete the avatars directory. All right. Next thing we have is, yeah, this png file. So I think we are checking for this here, right? So I don't think it has any matches. Okay, let's see. Let's do fmt.println match. All right, so here we are just logging all the match values. This will be a lot of logging, but I think this will help us out with the png file. So this is the one, right? I think no, not this one. So this is not a tmux window that I can search through, but let's see, what is it called? It's called facelift excel career, right? So okay, how about we do this? Let's not even just do a len on this. I think we can, based on the len, we can just skip. So right here we get a bunch of these values and there's a 0 here, right? So this is one way to do it. I think, like, if I do I'm thinking if I just do like a return here, that's one way to do it. If len.match is equal to 0, then just return, right? We don't need to do anything else. So let's try this out. Okay, we got rid of that logging statement. Yeah, no errors this time, right? So this is one way to do it. The other way would be, I am thinking that it could possibly be like image that ends with a JPEG. So this would be something that we can consider, and in this case we can do like a, I'm not completely sure, but let's see if this works. No, it doesn't. the regex doesn't seem correct to it. Okay, do I need to escape the... Okay, the reason for this is because it has a lot of stuff over here, right? Yeah, it's difficult to track all of that. How about we do regex like this? We need to escape this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this won't work either, but let's give it a go. No, it doesn't work. I'm going to revert this. I think our check here is sufficient. Oh no, it did work. Nice. But then it seemed slow to me for some reason. Let's see how many images. Yeah, 101 images are there, so that is fine. I think let me also log this value. I think like the way we have this regex setup, I think like it's doing we might get rid of something that we have done in the with another regex where we check for like some other values. Let's see what the images that we are getting. So right over here, in I think like in all the cases we are just getting the image, so this is good. Yeah, this is good. So what we were doing here is like, because this regex now works as expected, we had one more regex I think in download or something. Yeah, this one, right? So we don't need to even do this. I think yeah, with this we can get rid of all of this actually, and this just use image here. Let me comment this out for a second. Do a rm-rf avatars, run it again. Right, let's review this directory. Yeah, all of the images look fine. The names seem fine to me as well. Yep, so this is better. We got rid of some code here as well. So yeah, the image looks fine to me. Yep, all good here. So I think we can just get rid of this code. This is nice actually, like we got rid of something. Now there is some additional logging going on, so I want to get rid of that too. So this one I want to get rid of. Yeah, that should be it. So now we are downloading images concurrently using channels and wait groups. So that is something we had planned for today, and that's already done. But I think we can move forward to the next thing, but let's commit this so that I don't lose track of the work I've done. So let's do a git init. Right, let me add a ignore file. We'll do a git ignore, and then I want to add avatars on it so that I don't commit these images. Right, and then right over here let's create a new GitHub repo. So yeah, we'll call it collage. Let's call it Go collage, right? So that you know it's in Go. Okay. Yeah, then take this, add this over here. Yeah, I think we have everything here now. Yep, this looks fine. Okay, so now the next step would be to take these images and combine them, right? So combine them in a way that we can have we can sort of build a collage, right? It's not really even a collage, it's more of a grid, but yeah, that's the next thing to do. So we have to load up an image, right? So let's just for today try to load images and get there, and we might also have to resize them because currently the images are too large. uh, they are consistent in size, so that's good for them, but at the same time I think the image is too large. So either we combine these images together and then resize them, resize the whole thing, or we combine resize the individual images. To me it seems like meaningful to just resize the whole collage in one go, because it seems like a shorter process compared to doing it for 101 files right now. Okay, so we have to check for the image package. I know there is one, but I don't know what or how it works. Yeah, there's png. Let's see example here first. So we have, okay, so they open up the image, they get a reader from it, and then they convert them to base 64, and then they get the bounds from it. We don't need to do any of the color checking, but bounds is something I think like that would be helpful for us. This is alpha, these are all types, and types have these methods. Okay, let's see. What's a rectangle? Uniform. These are the package files. Is this all of it? Like, how do I load images besides converting them to base 64? Okay, there's a JPEG. I think there's a JPEG package specifically. Yeah, or this is this decodes. This is just for configuration. It seems like package JPEG implements JPEG image encoder and decoder. Okay. We might need raw later on, but not right now, I think. So is reading to base 64 the only option? Let's maybe start with that. So in this example, I think like if we read images and log their bounds, right? But where is this bound method? So it is on image decode. Where is decode? Image decode. Decode function. This is a register format. That's config. Yeah, I think this one. So it takes an IO reader, decodes an image that has been encoded into a registered format. The string returned is a format name during the format registration. The format registration is typically done by an init function. So this takes in an IO reader, which is fine. Then it gives back the same image string and error. So coming back here, okay, so it takes in can it not take a PNG file? Let's see, go. I don't have Go doc installed, but let's go back to decode. Yeah, so it takes in IO reader, right? So it doesn't even bother with yeah, it takes it here, right? So can't I pass the raw string is what I was thinking. Okay, let's try it out. We'll say here okay, by the way, how about we move all of this, because like I think like this is a very specific concern here, right? So we can do we can make a new directory, create a new path. So we'll do we'll call it download, because the whole purpose of this part was to just download, and within this we'll create a download.go, right? Let's read in main. No, let's read in main here, right? The package would be called download, right? The function here would be called download, and yeah, that is it. Maybe we can do a return. We don't need to do a return, right? Because this is an IO process and it's happening in so many places. Either we sort of continue passing errors. Okay, yeah, let's not do it for now. Let's just go back here. Let's just import our go mod says this thing, so let's just copy this over, yank this over here. Right, so collage / download. Get rid of this additional quote on this one, and then I think we can get rid of all of this, and even all of this too, and we can just call download, and that should be it. Let's maybe, I think like, because download doesn't seem nice, we can say like download avatars to be more specific, and this would be download avatars. Yeah, this is much more easier to work with. I think we do need a reference to avatars, right? I think that would help us later on. So and the avatars that we really need are basically the files that we downloaded. Right now we don't really worry about something that we sort of parse through the HTML, but rather the files that we downloaded. So what we do here is we store the path, right? So so maybe I can make a const or we do need to make a slice. I think we can make an array, add to that, and yeah, use that. So okay, how about this? So in that case, or let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just worry about what we wanted to do right now. So we wanted to get the image details, right? So let's say let's do it in main for now. So we'll do os.open on a file called avatars/arun. I'm just testing things out, so I will be very specific here. It doesn't require any other parameters, so we do need a file and an error. So if error okay, now we have the file. So what we do is, if we do image.decode, I don't know if this would work, so but I do want to try it out, because if we can skip the base 64 conversion, that would be nice. Let's see, it doesn't complain because this takes in an IO reader, and os.open gives us a file which implements something that can be read, right? So if we see at open file, okay, it gives us a bunch of bytes. I'm not sure if it implements the reader interface, but yeah, let's see. So this gives us back what does decode give us back? So decode gives us back image string and error. So I'll say image string and error. So if error not equal to nil, we'll just do a fail to decode the file. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll also do a fmt.println I and s, what these values are, we'll see. And actually for a bit, let's not even call this, right, so that the process is faster. Okay, it seems like it can't convert it, or it can't decode it rather. So what we do instead is we just convert it into base 64 and then see. So we use the base 64 package, I guess. So space 64 dot new decoder, and to this we tell it that use base 64 standard encoding actually, and then pass it the strings new reader. Is there just decoder new reader? Yeah. And then to this we pass in f. So f is a file which it can't read. Why is that? What does new reader require? It requires a string. Okay, where does this data come from actually? It's a reader here. Decode image. If reading from a file, create a reader with this thing. Yeah, we had created a reader initially. So okay, how about we just pass it here. F. Does that work? Yeah. So in case we have direct data, we can just convert it into a new string reader. Otherwise this is fine. So this gives us back another reader. Right, and then we decode the reader instead. Let's see what we get now. Okay, it's still failing. How is that? Okay, let's search for it. I think like let's save us some time. So we'll do Golang read image files. Working with images, reading images from file system. Yeah, something along the lines of reading JPEG image data, right? So reading image from file. So this is what we want. So you open a file, you close it. So I haven't closed it, so something we have to do, we do a decode. That should have worked, right? Calling decode the image generic image decode will tell you that the data of the image, is it a string, we expect PNG. Okay, instead of writing, okay, so this says like basically just pass the reader, hear it. Okay, yeah. This doesn't have anything of interest here, but then what we saw earlier was right here on this one, that you just pass it the image path and that is it. You pass it F here, actually nothing else. So this should have worked as per the data here. I'm not sure if it's with JPEG or something else. In the read file, the example you need to, okay, I did not need that in Windows, Mac. Go with this. Okay, I know it's a bit old, but I think it's because you need to import package PNG only for it. It's init function such as, okay, yeah, like we are just trying random things now, but yeah, let's see. If I import image/JPEG and use it as an indirect import, let's see. Oh, nice. Nobody told us about this. Is this mentioned somewhere here? Oh yeah, it's mentioned very like it's mentioned upfront, right? Like you need to do this. So there's nobody but us to blame for not reading it properly. So it gave us back this large binary, which is the image. Then it gave us a string, and then yeah, that is all right. So running it again, so you see, like, we get the file format. This is the data about the image. Yeah, it's a lot of data there, but what we are more interested in is like seeing what we can do with this image. So if I do like I is an image, where is I? Yeah, we can get like bounds of it, returns the domain at which okay, but doing, there's bound max as well. Let's just do bound and see what the value is there. So what does this return back? This returns back image.rectangle. Yeah, let's see what this actually is. Okay, can't really. Yeah, let's get rid of this println. Okay, this is not declared or used, so we don't really need s right now. We'll just ignore this. Running this, yeah, exactly what we needed, right? So we get this starting at 00 and then ending at 300. So because the image is 300 wide and 300 tall, so yeah, that's good. So we are getting somewhere there now. I don't want to do like combining of images today. I want to look at something else. So let's look at how we can convert the image to grayscale, right? That is something that would be interesting. Can I also open this in? Yeah, I want to use package go.dev. This is a lot more nicer to look at. So we want, okay, so none of the function here is what we need, I think. Although we do want to do gray, right? So so we pass it a r rectangle and then we get a gray image back. And what is, okay, how about this? Because we know like we got a rectangle back here, right? So what if we pass this to just a second, we pass this to new gray, right? So that would be image.newGray, I think. Image.newGray, yep. And then to this I pass i.bounds. This gives us back a new image. Yep. Something was not correct there. That's fine. Yeah, we are getting all these zeros, so this is not correct actually. Not sure what it needs. Let's see. New gray, right? New gray returns a new gray image given with the given bounds. Oh, okay. But how do I set its value then? Right, so by default I think it's like an empty image of this size, but yeah, we also have like set cmyk no, these are all on cmyk. Okay. Yeah, there's a color sub package and there are functions. This thought we'll look it up to save us some time. Go convert image to grayscale. Okay, maybe we can make it like Golang instead. Yeah, RGB to grayscale Golang, right? So I think it might be just sort of using RGB or something. Okay, let's see. Like we open up an image here. This is the file. We decode the image. Okay, we do need to decode it for some reason. We get an image there. Okay, we are specifically using the image JPEG decoder. Okay, explicitly doing that, but I think we have already done that. So we have I there. We get the bounds. We create a new image, RGB image. We loop over max y, bound max y. We increment that. We do another bound max x. Okay, so we loop over both the axes. We get the original images x and y. Like basically add this point what is there sort of x and y. We get the pixel. We call RGB on that pixel. Then we first of all, like, is this a question? Okay, this is the question. So this guy is basically like sort of doing this per pixel of the image, and then sort of I think like just creating a new image from that, and then creating like while he does that, like he sort of changes the RGB colors. This to me sounds a lot of sort of work that should have been done by Go itself, but let's see, maybe this is all we need to do. Yeah, it seems like this is what they are doing here as well, converting each pixel one by one. Okay, so this is one way to do it. Why isn't there something built on top of this? Okay, this is terribly formatted. Yeah, I think like everybody is doing this. The only different part is that what they're using here is the only change I see. Okay, I guess we'll do it similar to the answer in the first Stack Overflow question, because I don't see any other way to do it. So what they are suggesting is yeah, so they are suggesting converting these colors, like say for example multiplying R by .299 and G with this and B with this, right, blue with this. So these are like, I'm not sure like where they come up with these numbers. Yeah, so they're doing the same thing here as well. So taking the old RGBA, like old pixel, and then RGB on that, pulling out the RGB, getting the luminosity value, using color gray. I saw. Okay, this to me seems like a better option. Just doing color grayscale gray model and convert the old pixel, and this can all be done in a single line, because why not make your life difficult? Okay, let's do this. So we already have our image here, so let's see the looping part. So we have, do we have the bound here, right? We have the bound here as well. I'll say store it as bounds. Let's rename this I to image, and this can be image as well. We don't need this line. Let's get rid of this as well for now. Then we have the bounds now, right? So we also want to create a new image, image or new gray image, right? So this would be, can't we do like new image dot, how are we pulling in the gray package? Oh, I see. Yeah, we can't name it image because the package is called image, so I'll just make it img. So this would be, oh come on, this would be g here, and then on img I can call, I think we will get a new gray, maybe. No, no, this would be actually image dot new gray, right? And I'll just give it the bounds. So this is our new gray image. Now we iterate over the existing image, so we'll say for y is equal to 0, y is less than bounds dot max y, because this is y-axis, and then y plus plus, this is for some reason a min. Let's make it max, and in here we'll do another loop. So let me just copy this over, replace y with x, and ignore the case, did nothing. Why so? Just do globally. Yep, okay. So this has to be, this x has to be capital. Oh no. Okay, so we have x and y. Now what else do we need? We need the old pixel, so we'll say old pixel. This would be image at, no, oh, it's the current image that we are looping through. So image at, and then we give it the x and y value. This is our current value, and then we don't need to do RGBA here, convert the old pixel to RGBA. We'll do something like this here, right? So we'll do color dot gray model convert. Is there a convert on this? No. Where does color come from? Color gray. Is this a package? It is a package under image. So let's save this first so that it's imported, and then yeah, there's a convert, right? So it takes in C. So what is C here in this case? It takes in an image, but then how is that a color, right? Like, because right over here old pixel is, oh, it's a color actually. Image at returns a color at this value. Okay, good to know. So this is old pixel. Now once we get this, we want to set it on the same x and y axis of the the image, the gray image that we created. So we'll save this as a pixel, which would be the new pixel. Let's name it new pixel so that it's clear. And then we'll do a gray image dot set x and y would be same and the color would be new pixel. Right. So this would create a new image. Now all we need to do is, I think like we just need to write the file. That's it. Yeah, so we do a create and encode. Okay, we do need to encode it as well. Okay. I did forgot to do this earlier, so let's do it. f.close. Similarly, what we do here is like once we have looped over all of this, we create a new file. We'll do a os.create gray run.jpg, right? This would be the file, and this would be file and error. I think this can be equal to, because f and error are already defined. If error is not null, we'll log a message. We'll just say failed to create gray image, right? And then we'll again do a defer f.close, and then we will do image, or rather image dot encode. Is there no, there's no encode on this? How is that? We did a decode. Where did we get the decode from in that case? There is I think like let's just look at subdirectories, but yeah, it doesn't autocomplete either. We have decode and encode here. Just fine. What does this take in? This takes in IO writer, which is the file which can be written to image and options. So this is all fine, but I want to do like here they have done like specifically use JPEG to encode and decode, but over here do we have decode? Right, we have a decode method here or a function here, but we don't have encode. Right, we don't have encode here, so it calls for just using JPEG. So we can explicitly use the JPEG package. I'll say jpeg.encode. We'll take the file, we'll take the gray image, and that should be it. The other thing is optional. I don't think in this they provided it any values either. Yeah, nil we have to provide. Okay, it's not really optional. And this gives us back just an error, so we'll catch that here or address that here just by saying let's use this message, failed to decode, or rather encode the gray image. Create the gray image. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, no errors, so that's good. We have a gray Arun here Fingers crossed. Oh, nice. This looks great. Yeah, we were able to create a gray image, so that's good. So in that case, let's open this up again. Okay, we don't need a bigger window here. So what I'm thinking is, like, all of this can be a package called we can just create an image package, right, and within this we'll have image.go, and I think we can take all of this here, go over here and paste it. So this would be called package image, right? And then let me just create a function around it called image. Yeah, so what is the issue here? Decode. Yeah, how about we just change it to JPEG, JPEG decode. Does that not work? Okay, JPG decode requires 3 arguments. Now we have to deal with this. No, it doesn't actually. It requires just 1. What is it complaining about? This is image file, right? Okay, the errors have gone. Does it return 3 values is what I'm interested in. No, it doesn't. So the string it doesn't return, which is fine. I just get this. Now image.gray, new gray is having problems because has no field. Okay, so we do need the image package, I guess. No, why doesn't it pull that? So if I do image, okay, did they do the same thing over here? They did JPEG decode, got image back. They didn't do grayscale. They don't show how they created this image. New gray image. This image set path isn't addressed here. But okay, I'm more concerned that why isn't image working at all. Okay, I think I know the problem, because it's called image, so we'll call it so what are we doing? What will we do? So we will yeah, coloring part is something probably in this part we'll just yeah, we'll do all the image manipulation, right? So we can call it image many. Right, so now I think image should work, the image import. So let me close this off, go to main first. This is all right. Then we go to, okay, let's rename the files as well, because that also is important. So let's do it right here. I don't want to call it manipulation because that's a pretty big word, but yeah, that's all I can think of. Manipulation. So this updates right, and then we update just a second. We update the file name here as well. Yeah, I think the error went. No, it's still there. Why is it not still happy? It says that new gray is undefined. Image package is not importing at all. That's the problem. So let me revert this back to how it was, and let's see. Image manipulation dot go. Yeah, the naming, all of that looks fine to me. How about I do this for a second? Even that doesn't work. If I go to main.go, I do image.new gray. Yeah, this works just fine. Why doesn't it work in our case then? In here, does it have something to do with this JPEG import? I'm not sure. Where did this come from? How about we revert this back to image? It keeps on adding JPEG, even though it's added as an indirect import. Oh, okay, we have JPEG encoding here, so it will do that. Okay, now I think like we're still not able to access the image package here, so it is not a problem with the JPEG thing. How about we just rename this altogether to format? We can't call it oh, this function is, oh my bad, all this while this function was called image, right? So just changing the package name wouldn't help, but yeah, let me change this to back to what it was. Yank this over here, yeah, the problem was like all along like this function is called image, right? So how about now? Oh, let's close this first, close all of it first, open it up, and then call this function something else. We'll call it manipulate. Yeah, you see it imported image now. Okay, pretty straightforward there. Now obviously like this doesn't take in the right arguments, or it currently works with a single image, so that's all right, I guess. The other thing I wanted to do was after this, and tomorrow or maybe in the next stream, whenever that is, we will sort of reorganize it to take images, or maybe a single image or whatever it is, rather than just hard coding a particular image and outputting a very specific file name, right? So also I want to check a part where I want to see how we can resize an image. So I know like Go by default doesn't have those primitives. Like obviously like it has those things, but then like it's a lot of work. So I think like there are some packages we might have to use to resize images. Alright, so okay, yeah, I think like this is the one that I had seen. Yeah, it's here, it's also using a resize package. Let's see a few more examples. Okay, Discord has an example which would be interesting. So this package resize okay, is no longer updated. Please look for alternatives if it bothers you. Okay, I guess like it still works, but then they're suggesting that like the fact that it doesn't isn't sort of up to date might be a challenge for some people. I don't know like if there's a good alternative. Maybe somebody could have, maybe they could have shared an alternative, but okay. So here they're using this resize same package. This is the resize package again, so it doesn't help. Well, it does help, but then it's the same thing. So now here we have like Discord resizes 150 million images every day with Go and C++. Okay, this is an interesting read. So let me capture this so that I can later read it. So today is 1908/2020.md. Okay, I can come back to this later on, but let's quickly glance through if they have mentioned something interesting that is of our use. So they have a media proxy. This is not something we need. Yeah, okay, I think like I'll read it later on. This is C++ in Go. Lilliput resizes images in Go. Okay. We import this. It takes in a bytes buffer. It takes in dimensions as int. How does okay? Yeah, I think like this can also do what we want. It's not like the package is not exactly that. Let's see if they have a link to Go packages. No, they don't. Okay, let's see. You import it. You Lilliput is conserved within memory. Images or decoder requires image data in bytes buffer. Okay, so I think like that is something we are already doing. Now we just have the file, but we can read it as well, right? Using IO utils read all, something like that. We'll have a buffer, so that's fine. What this gives us back is a decoder. Create a new decoder object from the compressed image contained in the buffer. Okay. So there's a header method on it. Read and returns the image headers. So okay, yeah, my bad. Like this is for this one, this is for this one, this is for this one. Duration returns the length of the content. Return 0 for static images or animated. Oh, okay. 0 for static. But then what would have more duration? Okay, fully decode the image to write its pixel data to F. Okay, frame buffer. User of Lilliput generally should not call decode to and should opt for image options. image ops. So image ops provides a convenience object for handling image resizing and coding for an open decoder object. Okay, so to this we pass the dimensions, create an image ops that can create an image for up to dimension x dimension pixels in size. The object can be reused for multiple operations. So this gives us back a image ops. We pass it dimensions as int. Yeah, my only concern is that like it has like C++ bindings. I don't think this package has that. Let's see. Why doesn't it open on GitHub? Yeah, it's pure Go. I think like we'll just go with this one for now. I don't have the string to do that. So resize creates a scaled image with the new dimensions using interpolation function enter. If either height or width or height are set to 0, it will be set to the aspect ratio to the preserving the values. Okay, resize thumbnail downscales the image, preserving the aspect ratio and makes the to the maximum dimension. It will return the original image if the original. Okay, I think we need something like thumbnail because we are downscaling it, so it requires maximum width, maximum height, which are both units. Then we require the image, then we require the interpolation function, right? So I think these are the one we might use. We might use one of these. I'm not sure which one is the one that we should use, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, let's quickly try this out. So to do this, we go to go mod, we add this there, right? We add a require here, require. That is how we do it. I think I don't have a lot of experience, or frankly like any experience with Go modules. So what is the package version? That is something we do need here. So it is 000 apparently. Would that work? No. So we 000, and can we do go get error parsing go mod? Okay, so that tells us something, that there's some incorrect things going on here. Go mod init. What do I? Okay, this already exists. So download modules to local cache. Okay, so we wanted to do a local cache, so go mod download, but then it's currently saying it's incorrect. Let's see why. So we are doing a require. Do we need to do it up above here? Let's see. Go modules. What is the right way to require new things? I require the name of the thing and the version. So that all looks fine. Maybe it's just that like it's 000. That could be an issue. Require module and path. Okay, do I need? No, I don't think I need to name it specifically. module. This is the Go version. There's a require here, and yeah, that's it. The sad thing is like they don't have a published version, so yeah, this is why this package needs an update. There is something here. No, no mention of modules. Okay, this is like quite old as well, 2014, like 6 years ago. So can we not use this then? This is a bummer. Maybe there's something mentioned here. So this is version 2. We are not on version 2, so let's see. We want to migrate to Go modules, Go modinate my project. I require this. There's no version here. That is my problem. Yeah, there's 000, and then I'm not sure what this is. Let's see. Maybe it's a commit ID. I don't know. Let's see. So they do where was this? Net, right? 000-2. There's a date. Like this looks like a date rather than anything else. Is this on GitHub? Yeah, it is. So we can check the tags here. Okay, hopefully, yeah, they don't do it like this, so I'm not sure where they got this this value, this date from. I can think of there would be a commit ID with this tag, this sort of value. If I search for this and instead go to this commit, I think there should be something around this 74DC. Yeah, we found it, right? So 74DC is fine, but where does the date come from? So this is 13 August 2019. Yeah, 13th. Yeah, 13th August 2019. Okay, so this has to be the date. This has to be the commit ID. Okay, let's try this then. Where is our package? So our package is this one. Let's close all of this. So this is what we want, right? This is the commit ID. How about we start with this, just this, and then move to adding date as well. Okay. Actually, let me open that back. So they have require here. Let's compare this. So they have a require. There's a module at the top. We have the module. We have the Go version. We have a require as well, right? Require is okay. Yeah, this was incorrect all along. Like, we don't need this bit, right? We just need this thing. Maybe I think like it will now work without the date, the ID as well. Who knows? So if we do go get, it seemed to be doing something. So yeah. So what did it do? Did it create a sum file, or is this an error? Reading GitHub at revision 0 unknown revision. Okay, it's throwing an error. So if I just do a commit hash here, let's try now. Oh yes, it has now pulled it. No, it hasn't. This is really irritating. Let's see, do they mention timestamp or date somewhere? Up to date, and that's it. Timestamp, no. Can I do go get this package? Does that add to? Will this add to our Go mod? That would be nice. Let me remove this from here first of all. Oh yeah, it did it. It did it automatically. We didn't need to do anything. So we have a sum file now, right? And then we also have a mod file with the correct value, right? So this is the date, and this is the SHA. Okay, we learned something there. Now all I wanted to test was if we can resize the image, right? Before we sort of store it, I want to resize it. So I think like we have a reference to gray image here. So gray image would be an image. Yep, image.gray, although I'm not sure if it's any different than what we are trying. So we'll go back to the resize package, and the way we will resize it, just call resize on it. So resize dot thumbnail, let's just import it. Okay, and then to this we pass in so let's make it 100, and then yeah, this is a tricky bit, like would it take the grayscale image? And then let's give it resize dot length source 3. Okay, so image, I think like it implements the same interface, or like it has the same things that image.image requires. So what does this give us back is M and then ms something we encode. Okay, so this gives us back an image, I think. Yeah, so we'll call it resized image, and then we will just use it here, resized image, right? So this is all good. Now let's go back to our main.go. main.go. Here we'll open image manipulation. Is it called image manipulation still? Yeah. But we haven't exported anything, I think. So we will temporarily export it like this, and we'll get manipulate. We don't need to pass it any arguments because this works with a static thing. Now if I also let's rename the file to resized gray arrow, right? So if I do go run main.go, okay, either it failed or yeah, something happened. So let's open this resized file. I think, I'm not sure, I don't know what has happened, but let's see, can we get more details about this? No. Show the side pane. Yep, it's 100 by 100. So yeah, I think it's done what is required of it. Now I think we have the underlying one of the most important underlying thing that we can manipulate the image as per our requirement, and then I think while we resize it, we can use the right interpolation function to sort of make sure the size of it is not too big either. So after this, I think all we need to do is join these images together, and yeah, I think that's it. But before we can sort of do any of that, we would also need to make sure that the joined images, no, before that what we need to make sure is yeah, there was something. Yeah, okay, so currently in our main.go we have this image manipulation, right? So this doesn't take in images, right? So what should actually happen is we should download, and then we should download avatar. This should give us back list of avatars, right? And then maybe, okay, not that, it's something like a, for example, and then we don't pass a to this because image manipulation would actually work on the final image, because then we'll make it grayscale and then we'll resize it at that time rather than doing it individually. But what we'll have is combine avatars, something like this, and to this we'll pass a, right? So that we can get all these images, combine them together, and that's it, right? So and then the output of this would be the combine, or let's call it C for now, and then this C would go into image manipulation. We will get a collage here, right? So and this collage is what we want, and we'll store it, right? That is how I see it functioning. So yeah, but this is some of the refactoring that we'll do tomorrow, hopefully. And yeah, let's see. So I'll keep it like this only so that it's there for my reference. Let me update the gitignore file to exclude all the, rather than avatars, let's ignore avatars and also ignore star.jpg altogether. It's that way we don't need to worry about those things. So let's commit, we'll say image manipulation. Yeah, that should be it for today. So we are exactly at 2 hours. So yeah, hopefully we'll get this done in a couple of streams from now. Yeah, and I'm hoping like maybe 2 more streams and this should be done, and then I want to move to the Discord bot, actually the Twitch bot that we had initially built in Node, but I want to move it to Go. So yeah, that's the next thing after this. But yeah, let's get this done first. Okay, thank you.